Great. Hello and welcome to the day two of the Shell E4 demo day. We are here joined by Stelae Technologies, which is one of our startups who pitched earlier in the day for a Q&A session. I hope you all are enjoying the day two of the E4 demo day, listening to all the pitches and the panel discussions by our esteemed guests. I am joined by Shekhar, who is the Chief Business Officer for Stelae, and myself, Siddharth, who is the Principal for Shell Ventures in India and the deal lead for the E4 program. Since this is the Q&A session, we have 45 minutes time where we can ask questions regarding Stelae's business plans, strategies, anything you want to know more about their technology platform, or anything more information following up on their pitch session. We all have kind of a chat window at the bottom of our screen, which we can use to type the questions. With that, let's kind of get started. Shekhar, over to you for a quick introduction, and then we can dive deep in the questions.
Hi, good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everybody. Hi, Siddharth, how are you? Very happy to be a part of this platform and look forward to take up quite a few questions and discuss much about Stelae Technologies.
Great. So we have a host of questions. So I'm kind of trying to distill them into some key themes, which is kind of always good. So the first question is around understanding a bit of history of Stelae, what product you're working on, and a bit more understanding on the industries you're kind of serving. And that's the broad question.
Right. So Stelae Technologies idea actually, was concepted around 2008 and 9, where one of the OEMs, through some of the contacts, had approached us for a kind of digital transformation, and they had a problem statement with them, which we were then trying to build a business case against that. So that's how it, led to the creation of a product which is called Kemia. Kemia is our digital transformation software product that we use in the market. And we've been working post that, with a lot of defense bodies, with OEMs, where we've been working on quite a few digital transformation projects. And formally, Stelae was launched in India in 2012 with one large business deal where the conversion was close to 3 million pages that we did. So that was, you could say, one of the biggest project which put our software for a complete test and usage, scalability, and many features. And being a defense customer, you can understand the amount of scrutiny they would have done on the product before they could actually hit the production live. So yeah, that's one of the key cases how Stelae was formed, and the product has been evolving since then, and we are in the current sixth version of the application. So Kemia version 6 is what is the latest one, which was recently launched a couple of weeks back.
Great, Shekhar. So Shekhar, can you also maybe give us a brief background or introduction on the capabilities of the product? What are those core differentiating propositions which you're building?
Right. So our product actually converts the data in whatever format it's available. Could be Word document, could be PDF, could be FrameMaker, or could be in any format, could be structured, could be unstructured as well. And our tool basically transforms it into industry standards complied with S1000D. So we start with S1000D version 3 and we support up to S1000D 4.2. We can also give out data in industry standards like ATA, DTA format, ISPEC 2200, though they are pretty much legacy standards available, but now we see a lot of industry slowly migrating towards S1000D. And I think the latest version is 4.2, and now we're compliant with version 4.2 as well with our new version. And the industries, just to give you a heads up on various industries that we support on this, starts with aerospace, defense, manufacturing, transport sector, and now we're foraying into energy sector as well.
Oh, that's awesome. Just before I go in the next question, maybe a quick reminder to the investors who are present on this call. There's a separate discussion which is very investor-centric, which is happening in parallel, and you should have received a link which you can use to go in that specific discussion area. So with that, Shekhar, the next question I think is a bit on the deep dive on the product itself, which says, what is the accuracy achieved while using OCR in digitization of the content?
See, our tool precisely doesn't do OCR per se. Okay, so we get it done using the industry standard tools available, and once the content is OCR'd, then it is passed into our Chemia engine for processing. So once we process that data, we already have processed more than 10 million pages on the software, and we're getting 100% accuracy on the data that's coming once the data is processed. So that way,
Okay.
we don't do OCR per se on our product, but we use the industry standard build tools, or we inform our clients to use those tools to OCR them and give us the output of it, which can then be processed using Chemia.
Okay, great. And I think, again, maybe just a follow-up question on the same thing. I know it's coming from engineers on the call. It says, uh, do you only read content, or you can read complex images like PNID and bring out the insights from it?
We've been working on a couple of use cases where it's more related to, you could say, some examples like illustrated part catalogs, which have huge images with a lot of data to be decoded out of it, and also create some hotspots when they navigate it on a mobile device. So yes, it's not just the content; we could also do images, and we could
Okay.
take up case to case basis, and we could always work out the options once we get the source document from the clients or from the customers who foresee to do some work on that platform as well.
Okay, great. And you did mention, like, it's not exactly an OCR. So the question is, what is the data accuracy we can expect from your software or from the tools what you use?
Right. So our tool predominantly works on pattern recognition algorithms that's written on the back end. So as long as the content, the input content document is clear, you would have 100% accuracy when it comes out in the structured, whichever industry standard they pick it up. So it would come 100% accurate when it actually processes the document.
Okay, that's kind of a very phenomenal claim. uh, so can you also convert ATA 100 standard to S1000D data modules? Kind of a very tech question, but yeah,
Yes,
something for you.
we do. We have a couple of use cases for our clients, which we've done it as well. So we could easily ingest ADA 100 format as well.
Okay, great. And I think again, a question is on the data side. So where is all this data stored? What is the security of this data in place? As you know, I mean, there's a lot of, I would say, important things happening across the globe on data security, data privacy. So how do you kind of manage all that situation?
I think this is a very good question, because one of the point everybody is concerned, and since that we work across various industry verticals, is the security of data. So just to give a more insight into it, Chemia's software tool is available on the SaaS or the web platform as well, and it's also available for on-premise installation. Earlier we were not kind of having these many options, but now due to data security and data privacy, we've also come up with a on-premise installation where it would be installed inside the client servers, adhering to whatever the client's IT policies are. Okay. When it comes to cloud server, we are pretty much available on Amazon, Microsoft Azure, and we have quite a redundant server available with firewalls and other security features already in
Yep.
place. So, which anyways, we could talk to the clients based on the security levels they need, and we could always upscale the servers as per the client requirements.
Okay, great. And I mean, just maybe a follow-up question from my side on this would be, do you see some resistance from clients, customers in handling this data? Like, given they are still very unsure of how this is going to pan out, and how do you kind of convince them that, hey, yeah, this solution is really foolproof?
Yeah, see, this is one of the great challenges across many industries.
Yeah.
It's the resistance to change when something new is coming in. The idea here is we're not trying to make a threat statement here. We are trying to give them a tool or a software which is going to normalize and ease out their day-to-day pressure, because documentation is one of the key in any industry, and there's a lot of effort and time is required to actually get the documents into structured formats. And at the end of the day, it should be meeting all the industry standards as well when it's publicly being released. So in a way, our tool is definitely going to ease quite a bit of pressure out of them, so that they could easily get the conversions done.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
at the same time, yes, it's not that it's a tool that's just going to create a document. It's a tool that's going to actually help you much more when you're looking at a long-term plan and thinking of a long-term downstream integration across various other third-party systems available in your company, or across other verticals as well.
Great. And maybe from your experience, Shekhar, I mean, what has been the receptiveness of the aerospace and defense industries to kind of uptake this kind of a solution? And what are those benefits, what they are really seeing?
Yeah, I think defense industry has been pretty much moving towards standardization to S1000D, and so are the aerospace OEMs whom we're talking to, or whom we are already working with. They're all already aligning their goals towards industrialization and standardization, getting into a standard data exchange platforms and formats. Yes, there's
Okay.
been some, kind of a resistance across a couple of other industries. One could be lack of knowledge or lack of education being done across to various industries. Why we need to have a common standard where we could use that across for data exchange. But yeah, we've been more of educating and guiding our customers rather than trying to sell a product. We want to bring in a value addition that when they partner with Stelae, they should also be educated as to what they're getting into and how is it going to benefit them. Because at the end of the day,
Agree.
it's a customer satisfaction and the benefit that we're looking at, rather than more of on the monetary side.
Agree. Exactly. And I think maybe there's again one more theme of question which is coming up is around, have you explored the territory of having government bodies as customers? If yes, what has been your experience?
Yes, we've been working in the past with a couple of government projects as well. Um, yeah, government projects, to be honest, they are generally huge when they come out. So obviously, since the quantum of work involved is huge, the process also takes a little time for them to finalize the vendor. So we need to actually, have the patience to get along with them, and there would be a couple of rounds of technical interactions, because various departments are involved when we work with the government entity.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the quantum of work will not be very miniature. It's going to be huge. It's going to be humongous to work. So we either work directly, or off late, what we've started is we started working with some system integrators or channel partners who could be front-ending us, and they would be deployed on the client premise, and we support them from the back end as well. So we work on
Yeah.
various models when we work with government agencies. And yes, it's been a pretty, I wouldn't say a bumpy ride, but yes, it's been great to explore new vertical, new kinds of transformation that's happening. And quite happy to see that government companies are also started looking at such kind of initiatives, where they're looking for digital transformation as one of the key sectors for their next gen products and solutions that they're planning to roll out in the market.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. I think this is such a solution which is very relevant for across the industry application. So, hey, shifting gears a bit, Shekhar, and moving a bit more on the commercial side, can you talk us about the cost? You did mention it takes 2 weeks to implement. Is this included in the cost, or what exactly is the cost structure you follow in implementation?
Right. So we work on a couple of commercial models. Okay. So one is we also work on pay per page, like you pay us for the number of pages that you're getting converted. Okay.
Hmm.
So in that model, in all the implementation cost, everything is covered. You don't need to pay as any extra. Only additional cost would be a one-time license, or how many years you're going to buy the configuration license from us. Okay. The other model is, yes, we do have a kind of an outright purchase model. So you could always do an outright purchase, in which case there is two levels of training involved. One is using of the software and tool, and second one is how to create multiple configurations when you have various kind of industry formats that you need to adapt to. So, and there have
Right.
been cases that we also, customize and work our commercial models based on the customer requirements. So we pretty much open to it, and we can always have a one-on-one discussion with the client the way he wants to structure it. We could always work
Okay.
out plans for them as well.
Right. So I mean, you do have flexibility of tailor making the right sort of commercial models basis the needs of the customers. Yeah.
Right, correct. It
Oh,
varies
great.
across the industry verticals. So, we need to also keep ourselves flexible because we also need to look at a long-term picture. It's not that we're just looking
Great.
for one-off project and just close with them. We want to be associated with them as a family for a long time when we get associated. So we
Yeah.
work based on the projects and the kind of the work involved. We can always be flexible in adapting our pricing model as well.
Great, great. Well, thanks. Hey, just for people who have joined us just now, so we are in the Q&A session with Stelae, and I have Shekhar with me, who is the Chief Business Officer for Stelae. So feel free to kind of ask questions, drop them in the Q&A section box just below your web browser. We will be kind of happy to pick them up. And we have half an hour more kind of in the session, so we have plenty of time left for answering multiple questions. So, Shekhar, I'm kind of moving next, and there are certain more questions around the business aspect, which I'm kind of grouping them together. It says, are you kind of providing this as an application, and which I understand, are you kind of providing them as a product, or do you support them as a service model? So, what exactly is the nature of the business you're dealing with, or is it a mix of both product and services?
So ours is predominantly a product-based solution that we offer. We don't get into offering this as a service because we have quite a few channel partners who are doing it. So ours is predominantly focused on offering it as a product. So Chemia is our product, and that pretty much does the transformation of data into digital format. And then it could be ingested into various content management systems or ERP systems that is available in the market for downstream processing, and content management for reauthoring or adding some content, modifying it, revising it. Yes, our tool can then give the data into those systems, and it's easily integratable into all these standard solutions that is available in the market. So our focus is
Right,
more
yeah.
of product based approach, and we're not into services at this point of time.
Okay, great. And I'm kind of like picking up more question on the business side again. It says, how did you build a network for sales? And I understand, like, you are working with system integrators to enhance your sales network. But do you want to like pick it up and say, like, I mean, what is your strategy for building a network for sales?
Right. So the strategy that we have now planned for the next couple of years is, Stelae wants to focus more on the backend activities, research and development, and moving towards lot many new industrialization and lot many new, you could say, sectors that we're targeting now. Okay. So now we've also foraying into MRO, the maintenance, repair, and overhauling
Hmm.
sectors for commercial airlines and defense airlines. So that's another vertical we are looking into. Energy sector, of course, is, yes, we are looking and we're banking big on it to grab quite a good projects in a couple of years. So keeping all this in mind, our prime focus is to work with lot many system integrators and channel partners. We're happy that in the current scenario that the current pandemic is going on, we did sign up two very big channel partners for us, and we just concluded the contract signing last week. So that's something is keeping us more positive now to keep us step the way forward. And yes, we are looking at more of system integrators and channel partners as our
Hmm.
one of the key channels of sales going forward. And if we get the direct leads as well, and if we are already in a kind of a strategic partnership, we are very open and happy to even work it through our channel partners instead of directly approaching the customers as well. So that's one
Okay.
of the key you could say business ideas that we've come up now, and we want to take that in a larger way in the next couple of years.
Okay. No, great. So maybe Shikhar, I'll kind of switch gears a bit and move again more on the technical side. And there are a list of 3 to 4 questions which I will kind of ask. So it's starting with what standards of aero you can migrate. Uh, is the question clear, or
What standards
of aero, AERO, you can migrate? I guess it's the aerospace industry, or
it could be, yeah, it's pretty much aerospace industry. So
yeah,
we have ATA specific documents, we have ISPEC standards. A couple of documents are completely unstructured. A couple
yeah,
of documents have been, prepared by some documentation companies using frame makers. So we could pretty much ingest any kind of data into our engine, and
okay,
it could give us standardized S1000D. Anything between version 3 to version 4.2 is readily available, and we can offer them the solution on that platform. And in
okay,
case they need any other specific customized format also, there might be certain systems which are not ingesting S1000D yet. We could also give them a custom built XML output, or could be
okay,
JSON output as well, in case they want to push it to mobility platform as well. So we can
okay,
pretty much ingest any kind of data that's coming in. Could be legacy data, could be
yeah,
ATS standards, could be iSpec standards, or it could be document that's just created using Word, could be created using FrameMaker. We could pretty much ingest various industry formats into our system.
got it. So basically, I mean, I'm kind of understanding you. You can take any kind of input and give them kind of the digital output which they really want. So I think a follow-up question on this, Shekhar, is what are those challenges you faced in this whole exercise? While working with aerospace industries or defense industries, maybe in terms of the kind of data what they give, or the kind of customers, or the kind of business what they have internally in the organization. So what are those challenges, and how did you overcome those challenges?
Right. This is one of the key questions. I was expecting this would come in at any point of time. See, how this works is most of the aerospace or it could be defense companies have different kind of devices or vehicles they use. So the content that comes in from OEM is in different formats. One client might be calling warning and caution with an exclamatory symbol. Other person might be calling it with a kind of a blown out image. So there are various patterns in which the data is being represented across various industries and various OEMs. Okay, so that's how Kemia as a product has been evolving over the last 7 to 8 years, and we're happy to say that we've almost crossed processing more than 10 million pages across various industry verticals. And the challenge here is, we need to first identify how the source document is. So right now, we have more than 80 plus pattern recognition algorithms already in place, which takes care of almost 80 to 90% of the industry documents across
Yeah.
various verticals. Those are available. We still have a 10% of research and development happening when we come up with various other kinds of documents and OEM. Like for example, recently we started interacting with quite a few shipping companies as well, and then we realized that the shipping companies use callouts in a different way compared to aerospace or defense industry. Okay, so there we had to adapt a kind of configuration change in our patterns, but any complex pattern change on our configuration should take about 7 to 10 working days. It shouldn't take more than that. So it's predominantly the first 3 to 4 days of time goes in analyzing how the content is. And pretty much after that, if it's aligning to the already existing configurations, then it's a walkthrough. We don't need to do much on
Hmm.
the research and development side. If it's any new kind of a pattern or a tagging structure that comes in, that's where a little bit of tweak on the configuration side is required, which maximum should be done in about 7 to 10 working days.
Okay. Okay. So I mean, because there's one more question around how complex is it to customize or enhance the configuration engine? So you're saying like that it takes what, a week or 10 days?
Yes, and it depends on the kind of change they're looking at. Because
Yeah.
now what happens, since even the when you come to the S1000D standards we're talking, there've been quite a number of changes happening from version 3 to version 4.2. There've been a lot of schema changes that's been happening. So we need to then align the content what the customer is asking. Are they matching to the schemas that is available in the existing industry practices? If they are available and can be aligned, yes, we would be more than happy to customize a configuration engine to align to those standards.
Yeah.
And if there is, a certain limitations or restrictions to it, then we are trying to work around, kind of try to talk to customers as well and try to check with them, are they really looking at it, because it's not adhering to the standards. And if still they request, we're trying to see how we could do a workaround as well.
Oh, great. Okay. I think that's a very fair thing. So maybe a broad question. I mean, it's one of the most interesting questions. What people do want to know is how is your technology different from other AI MI based systems?
This is something, it's been making a lot of buzzword in the market, AI,
Yeah.
ML. Yes. See, ours is a completely a different system. It's I would say, more of Kemia is more of an intelligent system, which works more on pattern recognition than on AI and ML algorithms. At the same time, we're not saying that we don't want to adapt AI ML technologies in the futures. It depends on
Hmm.
how the business case needs are there. We are quite open towards that. But one advantage that we have, since it's a smart intelligent system, is unlike the other AI and ML systems where the processing engine needs at least thousands and millions of data to process and arrive at a kind of the output. Our system can easily produce the output in, say, about 10 to 20 different document types. Could easily make the configuration very stable, and you can then just start processing as many data as you need. So in a way, that's been one of our core technologies in the background. And our
Yeah.
comes from a background where he's been in this industry for more than 35 years. So the kind of pattern recognition algorithms he's written pretty much is compatible with most of the documents that are available in the market.
Oh, great. And I think, do you think your system is kind of easily handshakeable or easily compatible with the third party systems like CMS and ERP?
Yes, what happens in this industry is there's content management system and there is various other ERP systems when you are trying to foray into other verticals like shipping industry, MRO industry, where the data from the OEM comes in various formats. Could be Excel, could be Word, could be PDF documents. So we process the documents and give it to them in S1000D standards, or could be customized XML or JSON standards, which can be easily ingested into any other third-party content management systems and ERPs. We've already have a couple of business cases and use cases which we've already completely finished the integration as well, where our data out of our system has been successfully ingested into other content management system and another ERP systems as well across the MRO and aerospace industry. And we are
Okay.
quite open to kind of work on the integration, because that's something which is not uniform across various other ERPs available in the market. Some of them might need API, some of them might need JSON format, some need XML. So we could always custom build the integration layer the way the end users want it. The idea is, end of the day, they should have easy downstream processing, rather than after all this conversion we don't want a lot of manual intervention to happen again.
Okay. Great. So, like we're almost half an hour in the conversation with Shekhar, and for people who have just tuned in, we are in discussion with Stelae, with their Chief Business Officer Shekhar. This is the Q&A section. So in case you have any questions you want to ask Stelae on their product, on their business, on their strategies, feel free to kind of put up those questions in the chat box, which is at the bottom of your screen. So Shekhar, will kind of maybe switch gears a bit again and ask you a bit specific questions on the implementation side. There is a question which says, what has been one of your largest implementation? And maybe out of my own interest, I will say like, and what are the benefits you feel you have delivered on those implementation to the customers?
Right. So one of the largest implementations has been with one of our defense customers, where we did process close to 3 million pages, and it was a complete legacy document transformation that happened. And that is one of our biggest installations as well, where our software was deployed on 36 parallel systems running at the same time. So it was a kind of, a load testing for our product as well, where 36 people working on the same product at the same time and processing a huge chunk of data for transformation. So that's
Yeah.
something, we ourselves were closely monitoring around the clock to see how things are performing. And in fact, including our CEO, CTO, everyone were on site when this whole process was happening to closely monitor the entire implementation. It was a large scale implementation which almost went across for about 3 to 4 months, owing to a lot of permissions and security protocols that we had to follow, being a defense project. But yes, at the end of it, when we see it now, it's been 6 years, 6 to 7 years, and the product is running pretty stable. They've not got back to us for any issues or concerns, though we've been doing our regular updates as and when we come up with new changes. We do send them across the new features that's coming in, whether they want to adapt it or still they want to remain in the old version as well. So it's been a phenomenal motivation and support for us in the backdrop that we had a huge project
Yeah.
implemented at a very early stages of the product development that was done. And then after that, it's been pretty much stabilizing a lot of things, improvising on the performance. Then we also started looking at various other industries where we could start targeting for such large scale projects. And fortunately, we did work across some amazing clientele that we have. And that's I would say the second project was this huge one that we did for 3 million pages, and that itself gave us how stable the product was built. And from then on, it was more of
Yeah.
R&D and getting in new features, functionalities. So it's been evolving over the last 6 to 7 years. And this year we did come up with quite a few UI UX changes. We did come out with a desktop version of the application as well, because lot many defense customers were feeling using it on the browser was not quite safe and comfortable for them. So we did come out with a desktop
Hmm.
version as well for on-premise installation. So it's been a amazing journey as far as Kemia's version 6 is concerned, with lot many industry inputs coming in, lot many
Yeah.
in from various verticals. We were quite surprised that the shipping industry document almost passed through our configuration with very very minimal changes. We could just do the changes in 2 days, and
Okay.
we could get the proof of concept delivered to them within a week's time, which they themselves were quite surprised, because when we had our technical presentation, we did tell them it would take us 7 to 10 days to analyze and process, because
Yeah.
it's a new technical. But within 7 working days, we went back to them giving the proof of concept output. So they themselves were quite happy to see, and now we're looking forward to work with them on a larger project that's coming up. Hopefully, we should crack that very soon.
Well, that's very interesting, right? I mean, you're working across multiple industries and segments. So there's this one question, Shekhar, around what kind of differences do you see when you move from these broad industries, say from defense to aerospace to shipping to maybe something else? What do you think are the core differences, and how do you ensure, like you really tackle your product basis those things?
See, the core difference, if you would see, would be kind of products and the components that they use and the OEM who are supporting it.
Hmm.
Okay, but across you see various verticals. Now we have common OEMs as well supplying some components, so that way adaptation becomes quite easy.
Hmm.
But there have been quite a few changes we observed when we entered into few verticals like shipping industry, because the number of
Yeah.
OEMs they work out is humongous. They easily work with OEMs close to 200 plus.
Okay.
So that's where we thought it would be more challenging for us, because the documents might be in different formats that
Yeah.
they are coming in. But since we have most of the pattern recognition algorithms, couple of them just zip through even without having to analyze the content. But a couple of them, yes, we did have to see, especially certain critical things like call outs, warnings, cautions. We did have to have a look at it, but that was just a
Yeah.
couple of minor tweaking that we need to do.
Okay.
But yes, there is a change across industries when you look at the documentation, the standards. That's because most of them are now trying to align towards an industry standard. So the
Yeah.
source data that we get is always in various formats.
I'm sure, like, I mean, you're working with so many industries and OEMs, everyone has its own ways of working, its format of documentation. So things would have been really very different across OEMs and industries.
Very true, very true. And also, it's great that we see that lot many companies are now trying to align towards one industry standard.
Okay.
I think
That's
that's the key taking forward, that industry is now looking at data transformation, digital transformation, and aligning to
mhm.
industry standards. I think that itself is a big achievement across all these industries, because this was one section or one segment of people where they were very receptive to any new changes coming in. Could be
Yeah,
from various organizations. But now we see that, and with the current pandemic kind of a situation coming in, people are looking at digital transformation as a key vertical going forward.
agree. So Shekhar, I mean, do you think, when the industry really moves towards one standard form of the data or kind of the reports and all these things, do you think your challenges would reduce, but at the same time, the importance of startups like Stelae would also reduce? Or you think, no, that's not true? I mean, you will still be more relevant when the industry moves towards standardization and digitization.
See, industry would definitely move towards standardization over
Yeah,
a period of time. Yes, and there is lot many opportunities for startups like Stelae. There are lot many verticals that are unexplored. Okay,
yeah,
where digital transformation plays a huge role going down the lane. Okay, and we firmly believe that there is a larger market that's available
yeah.
to be explored. Okay, and Stella is definitely looking at next to 5 to 10 years as a very big market for us, owing to the kind of digital transformation and kind of products that we are currently envisaging, and the kind of client base
Yeah,
that we definitely look at a very big potential. Okay.
agree.
And we don't see that as a threat that the startups would be much irrelevant when industry starts moving towards standardization. Maybe I take it the other way around. That's when they would
Yeah,
look at a lot many startups to easily offload a lot many things, so that the overall operational productivity at the client side is increased.
true. True, true. I mean, and the scope of work will become more like, once these things do become standard. Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, any kind of support, and there's one question on this. I mean, what kind of support do you offer to customers? So I understand, like, you give them the product, but do you also offer them continuous support over the lifetime of the product, or?
Yes, see, it again completely depends on what kind of the license purchase they have. If they are on,
Yeah,
kind of a SaaS model, or if they're on outright purchase. Our idea is, the way we've trained our customers, or our training plan is structured. You know, it's pretty much very simple, and the interface is very intuitive. And once you're trained, you're pretty much on your own. You can start using the software. We also give you a training on kind of how to build your own configuration. That's a kind of advanced
Okay.
training that we run, so that in case if you kind of get a new customer and you need to have a separate configuration for him,
Yeah.
this is a scenario when it comes when we more work with kind of system integrators and channel partners. So there we also train them how to create the configurations so that they can be more independent on their selves, and they can start working on it. But yes, we'll always be there as a backend, to kind of offer any kind of support, kind of help they need at any point of time. We're always there. And
Yeah.
that's our key. That's been over the last 7 to 8 years, and we have a quite strong project management team which works with it. So I'm
Okay.
pretty sure we're always there to back our customers in whatever way they want and the support they need. And we're always there to guide them, update them on any new changes that is happening in the industry.
Yeah.
That at any point of time, they know what's the latest running in the market and are we compliant with that.
No, sounds good. So, hey, I think we are almost nearing the end of our session. So we'll kind of start to wrap, but I'll take maybe a couple of more questions. So people, I mean, if anyone wants to ask any questions, feel free to put them on the chat box. There's one I think which I want to really pick up is on the, I mean, what are the trends you see in the industry, and what is the way forward for a company like Stella in this space? So it's
Right.
more like a free flow answer to you, Shekhar.
Yeah, pretty much. At least over the last 1 year, we've been seeing a lot of buzz happening upon the digital transformation, data transformation, digitalization. And one good thing that we're seeing is, various industries, say, for example, oil and gas, shipping industry, they've all started looking at tools that can perform these kind of operations rather than hiring a huge team of manpower to sit and work on documentation. In fact, they're trying to put those kind of budgets into a lot many other activities, so that a tool like this can save the time of a document transformation that
Yeah.
takes about 300 400 hours, when a system like ours can do it in 20 to 30 hours. Why should we invest time and effort on such kind of a platform? So looking forward, yes, we're looking at a lot many digital transformations that are going to happen across various other industries and verticals. And equally, we geared up to take up all those new challenges and new opportunities that are coming our way. And as I said, Stelae is ready to also scale up when such huge projects are coming in. So we're, in a way, we should thank our CEO to be a backbone to us, in taking these kind of new strategies into market, and also ready to back us up when a scaling up of the teams are required. So yeah, so we're looking at
Absolutely.
much more, we would say we are looking at a larger segment coming out of this post pandemic. So we're expecting a much more larger kind of projects than what we had actually planned or envisaged.
Great, and I'm sure, like we all are equally excited as you on seeing how Stella kind of progresses in this post-pandemic world.
Definitely, definitely.
Great.
And we should be very thankful for Shell, who's also one of our key partners and investors on board, to support us equally as and when we've approached them, and to give such an amazing platform where we could showcase our product and talk about lot many questions that were there. It's indeed commendable from the Shell's team, the bootcamp team as well.
Well, thank you so much, Shaker. And hey, thank you, everyone. We are just at the end of our time. So again, thank you, everyone who has joined us in this session. It was a great, fantastic time we had with Shaker on understanding more about Stelae. And I hope, like each one of you had also enjoyed this session. Remember, we can do access the recordings of this whole Q&A section from this event page once this whole event is over. And you can also contact the startup from the Shell E4 event website if you want to understand more about Stelae or really want to follow up with them on certain specific questions. With that, thank you again, everyone. I hope you're having a great, wonderful E4 demo day. And I hope you do tune in again tomorrow for the day 3 of the events. Thanks, Shaker. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Siddharth. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. Thank you.